What he says. Jake Tapper asked him a question when he was in debate with Mayor Gillum when he ran for governor the first time about one of his donors. One of DeSantis's donors referred to former President Obama as the N-word. Even though DeSantis denounced the man's statement, he did not return that person's donation. Tapper was asking him to account for why he didn't distance himself from the donor in every way, which includes letting him know he could do without his money. He questioned him about the donor who used the N-word. Why? Because it points to the mentality and leanings of the type of people who support DeSantis. And his welcoming of such support. The fact that he denounced the comment and not the person nor did he give the money back goes to our argument later about accountability. What happened when Obama's pastor made controversial comments? Was it dropped after the first interview about it, even though he denounced the comments? Was it sufficient for people like DeSantis? And his snide remark, because that's the way he works, about monkey this up and pretending it meant nothing says more about who he is. And observe what follows. Such tolerance and forbearance. DeSantis replied to Tapper by saying, because he made a mistake. He apologized. It's amazing how quickly DeSantis said these words and how easily DeSantis accepted that man's words to be sufficient. What mistake did the person make by referring to former President Obama as the N-word? Getting caught? Again, DeSantis said those words quickly to brush them aside and try to move on. He went on to say, here's the deal. You look at my record. Whether it's in the military, when we're downrange in Iraq, it didn't matter your race. We all wore the same uniform. We all had that American flag patch on our arms. And that was end of story. That may or may not have been true. To account for his snide, shade-throwing, racist remark he runs to his military record? He's using an abstract that no one can account for at the moment of the questioning. He can't establish anything in real time that would vindicate him from being a racist. He literally said, whether it's in the military, when we're downrange in Iraq, it didn't matter your race. His current attacks on people's cultures other than his own are proof that's not true. And his statement that we all have that American flag patch on our arms begs a whole lot of questions. Is he saying he wasn't racist while in the military because they wore the same uniform? And if so, is he saying otherwise, yeah, I'm a racist? Doesn't he know that everyone knows the military is definitely one of the places where people experience racism? He said we all wore that American flag patch on our arms and that was end of story. Does he not believe that the people think it all? If someone wearing that same American patch as he does impacts how he treats them, then why is he having such a hard time seeing fellow Americans who happen to differ with him as anything but enemies? And he goes even further down the rabbit hole of nonsense. He says, if you look at me as a prosecutor, it didn't matter the race of the victim, we were there to support the race of the victim. We really have to ask our standard question, what in the world does that mean? It didn't matter the race of the victim. Okay, maybe this means we prosecuted people no matter the ethnicity of the victim. But how in the world did he support the race of the victim? Then he offered this reassuring lie, so, Floridians can know that I'll be a governor for all Floridians. That's the only way you can do it. Watch the video if you get a chance. At this point he did that pull in of the lips that some people do when they're lying. He closed out sounding like he is really a person who will help people reconcile differences. Boy, was he pulling a fast one with that. Then he almost had a compassionate and wise moment. It doesn't mean we're going to agree on every issue. But you know what? If we disagree, tomorrow, maybe 2 weeks later, we'll find some common ground. That's what he said.